What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel and to another video on the Golf. So, in the last episode, you saw we fixed this corner of the inner front panel on the front end. Obviously, it's the front panel. Turned out pretty well. The comments I've got on it are unbelievable. First time I've ever done anything, as we've mentioned many times, and I'm really pleased with the way it's gone. Thank you all for the feedback. There's a few things that people have noted to say try and change and do this, which I will do, and we'll give it a go. So that was that bit done. This episode is about fixing this area and this area. As you can see, they're fixed and sorted now. So let's jump into the video and go back to when the holes were in it and show you how we got from holes to solid metal. Right, guys, I've just offered the front panel on and just to see how everything looks. I'm happy to say everything looks like it's touching where it needs to be. There's a little bit of beating needed on that area we've just done, but it's in about the right place, which is brilliant. This front panel is supplied by Heritage Parts Centre, who, if you've not watched any of the videos, are sponsoring the build of this car and this series. Visit heritagepartscentre.com, where using the code CHAMBERS at the checkout will get you 10% off your order. Big thank you to those guys for sponsoring the channel and for giving you the code to save yourselves a little bit on your projects as well. Right, let's get this panel off. Chuck a very light dusting of primer onto the bit we've just put on so it doesn't go rusty. And then we'll start removing this engine mount and start repairing this rear panel. Right, that's that off, so you can see we've got a hole here. I'll see if we can get a new one of these. I highly doubt it, but we shall see. If not, I'll just have to get a bit of a thicker gauge steel, and we'll have to just remake this corner, which shouldn't be a big deal, but that's off and revealing what's in there. So then, guys, I've removed this bit. We've just gone through and cleaned this up and sort of selecting where I'm gonna be cutting this out. So I'm gonna get on with that, cut this out now, and then we'll start fabbing some panels up to go in. You'll be pleased to know I bought myself some scissors. So, there is the template for that piece. Just going to cut it out on the bench. So, we're going to use this that I don't need anymore, which was just to show you guys how I've done it. And we will cut this piece out of this so we don't go wasting any material. We've also bought a very fine point Sharpie so we can get a bit more of an accurate cut line than the fatter Sharpie that I was using yesterday. Right, let's get the grind up and cut that down. Template, piece. So let's go and offer that in the car. See how it fits. I think it might be a little bit too big. But rather it be a little bit big than be too small. So we can cut a little bit off. I think we're in about the right place. It's just a little bit too much. And then we have one finished piece that goes in here. So this piece here, got this curve to match this top bit, and then this fold on the back. Fits in lovely. So I didn't show you how to make it, but how did I make it? This bar that's been in the vise, I clamped that using these to this front panel here, like something like that. It's not in quite the right place. Then this piece, I'd marked it, they've worn off now, marked it about where the curve wanted to be, placed it in, it got obviously another clamp on it, placed it in there, and just kept sort of pulling it backwards and forwards and bending it into a point, which got most of the curve. It needed this extra little bit at the top, which I marked. This was in the vise, and I've just hammered it round ever so slightly just to create a little bit of an extra kink. Then offered this in, marked where the start of the radius wanted to be for this return lip, came over to the bench, got one of these jigs, and I put a radius on it which matched the internal radius of what was on the car, using the pen marks, which you might be able to see, in the vise, clamped it up, folded it over by hand first, and then beat it with a hammer just to get that curve about right, and it fits bang on. Well pleased with that one. So we'll clean this bits of metal up, we'll tack it in, hopefully there's a bit of metal there to tack it to, and then move on to the next one. There's that tacked in. I mean, it is very pigeon weld here, but it's in, we've got penetration. That's actually the best one yet. So let's grind it off. See what she's looking like. And there we have it, guys. New panel in, blended in. I've still got a bit of fettling to do with it round here, but I need to order a finger sander because I can't get in. Round the back, again it's all on, and I've cut it off as well to the right length. It's just a bit of pen mark, but yeah, got to get in here again with a finger sander. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Looks like I might have finally got the welder set. So let's move on to the next bit of that needs doing. So we've got to try and recreate that. It's just if we're anywhere else, we've got too much detail going on, too many contours and things. So this one's going to be a challenge. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Cut that out first. remembering to add a bit on for the flange that we want as well. Piece of steel. And work out how we're going to put this in. Right then guys, so this is the panel that we started with, that we want to recreate. I've folded this back, so this was folded down here, but I folded it back. It's got this funny detail on it here. Yeah, and this is what I've made. So it's got that funny bulbous detail on it. It's got that lip on it, and we've got cutouts on it as well. So yeah, it isn't A1 perfect, but where it goes in the car isn't seen on the side that isn't the best. So how did I do it? So we had to create this. See that? We had to create this detail, so you can see all the hammering marks and planishing marks in it. So what I did was cut myself a square out of the right sort of oversize of the material. Then got a piece of plywood, a wood chisel, a sharp wood chisel, dug myself out a little trough, which was about the right size for the proper piece to fit in, and it fitted in, it stops where it needs to, it's all in the right place, as good as it can be. So then we put the piece of steel on there, flat steel on there, and I went in with the ball peen end of this hammer to get most of it in and to the right places, and get most of it stretched. Then it was between this pointed hammer and this flat hammer, and I basically just, yeah, hit it into the jig to get it out into the corners a bit, and then I got a bit worried about splitting the metal. So then I've got the vise, we've got a flat bit here at the back, and I was sort of hammering on that and turning it and trying to get straight edges back. Open the jaws of the vise, and we were using this bit as well. And I'm pretty happy with where it is. Like I say, it isn't A1 perfect, but it will do the job. It's what we need. So we've got to drill some holes in it back again. We've got, where is it? We've got this hole here, which is a clearance hole for the engine bolt. This hole here and this hole here are spot weld holes. So I'm not going to worry about that yet. I'm going to chuck it, tack it into the car, and we'll drill it when it's on the car. When I've sorted out the other part, the engine, front engine mount, wherever that's gone, because that needs either replacing or repairing, but I haven't got thick enough steel to do it. So let's go and tack this in the car. So that's that patch panel in, welded in, blended in. I've got to sort out this bit here with this finger sander that I still need to buy. I've just not got around to it yet. And then we've got this panel here with the divot in. We've still got to drill some holes in it. And we've got to weld it around, bit of a gap, but we'll weld that in. And get it all dressed up and blended in. So then guys, here's the patches in. Let me just show you up a bit closer. So we've got a patch in here, and we've also got a patch in here. Now this has got obviously hammering marks in from where I've made it. I'm pretty pleased with how they've turned out, but I'm not ecstatic with them. They're not, I want them to be sort of invisible. I want it to be as good as it can be. Now I might be being a bit too hard on myself in the process. I've never ever done this before, and I probably will be putting too much pressure on myself to get it A1 perfect, but I want this to be as good as a car as I can. So I'm thinking I'm going to replace this whole panel. It isn't good enough. It's not where I want the car to be. It's not the level I want it to be at. So we're going to have to replace this whole panel. So it is available. I wouldn't say this was wasted time. It's been a good process for me to learn and to have a go at doing. It would be okay on a car that hadn't gone back as far as this car has gone, I suppose. It's just not right. I don't want it to do that. So we're going to be taking this piece out and replacing it. So yeah, I suppose not a massively wasted video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed watching it. I've definitely learned a lot from doing it. So unfortunately we're just going to cut out and get rid of what we've done. I'm not going to do it yet. I'm not going to do it until I get the panel in and I've got it in front of me and I know, I know that I can get it. So then guys, thank you all ever so much for watching. As ever, I do really, really appreciate it. Hopefully this has been another good video that you've enjoyed and you've learned a little bit from it. I certainly have. I've learned a lot from this. It hasn't been a total waste of time, although we're cutting out what we've put in. Thank you all so much for all the comments and likes that we've been getting on the previous videos. Doing all of that and the interactions on the videos massively, massively helps within YouTube's algorithm and gets us out to more people. We're chasing 20,000 subscribers by Christmas, which I think is doable. We're well on the way there. This channel was only started 23 weeks ago, so to be sat at over 15,000 subscribers is, yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing. I want to say a massive thank you to every single one of you that likes the videos, comments, subscribes. It all means so much. And if you're here watching without subscribing, why aren't you? Click on the subscribe button and press that little bell to get notified of when we post a new video. So we'll leave that one there then guys. Until next time, enjoy.